Do you want to get started quickly in Palworld without wasting any time roaming around aimlessly? Then I have 10 tips and tricks for you that'll make your experience in this game go a little bit easier, as well as a bonus tip on how to get infinite amount of Pokeballs. What? Well, I mean, an infinite amount of Pal Balls when starting out. And so make sure that you stick around to the end of the video and hit that subscribe button down below. Alright, one of the main things you should understand in Palworld is the elemental system. The elemental system is pretty basic like any other Pokemon game where you have your 5 elements and then you have 4 other elements that correspond to them. Your main 5 elements are going to consist of fire, grass, ground, electric, and water. Each one has 1 strength and 1 weakness, with the exception of fire having 2 strengths, which is over grass and over ice. The next thing we're going to talk about is how you should be spending your stat points. In Palworld, your stats can be the easiest thing that you mess up since everyone wants to play a certain way to how they like to play the game. I'd say the best thing to upgrade in the game should be your HP, your weight, and your stamina. Upgrading those 3 things will help you out the most in the long run since you get the most value, especially your HP and your weight since those are the 2 things that will bother you the most in the game. Now let's talk about maps, raids, and dungeons. Looking at the map, we're going to see many POIs indicating different things. This first one that we're looking at is going to be a fast travel site called a Plateau of Beginnings, which everyone starts at. And these are usually these statues that look like this right here. Whenever you get close to them, they're going to pop up a fast travel icon that you can use to go fast travel anywhere on the map that you have been before. Keep in mind, you have to be there and actually click on the icon to fast travel. Where we just fast traveled to was the Rain Syndicate Tower. That's where you're going to come across a raid where you go against one of the main bosses and stuff. If you are going to do that raid, be prepared. A party of 4 and some ground type pals will help you out with this pal right here. Also in the same area as the raid, you're going to come across a dungeon that's hidden. These can be found throughout the map. They're hidden all over the map. They reset after a certain amount of time. This one has 56 minutes left. Upon entering them, you're going to come across syndicate thugs, Pokemon, and mining ores that you won't see outside of the dungeon. Towards the back of the dungeon, you're going to find the boss fight where there's going to be a bigger version of a pal. After defeating him, the door will open at the back and you'll find 2 chests that have items for you. On the next tip, we're going to talk about farming XP. Whenever you're farming XP, you're going to go in the general area of a boss fight. That's where you're going to find masses of Pokemon as well as the boss itself. Going to these Pokemon, just spamming Pokeballs at them to make the fight a lot easier is going to be a lot better than trying to go fight all of them all at once. I still kind of messed up right here and didn't dodge, and so I was just taking damage. So make sure you're spamming that dodge button while you're spamming the Pokeballs and firing an arrow here and there. Just remember, we want to catch pals, not kill them. You get a lot more XP whenever you decide to catch them versus killing them. Killing them only gets you drops, which aren't a bad thing either, but if you're looking to level up quickly, then the best bet is to just catch them. The same thing can be said with the bosses, as we want to catch the Pokemon, and so whenever it's on the last bit of health, keep spamming Pokeballs, and if you can't seem to catch it, just run away and then try again later. Okay, now we're going to get into the bonus tip of this video. The bonus tip is wanting to know how to get unlimited Pal Balls, or Pal Spheres as they call it. I'm still going to call them Pokeballs. But if you want to get unlimited Pal Spheres, I'm going to mess up and call them Pokeball, guys. I'm sorry. But you're going to go into your Pal deck and you're going to go to number 14, which is the Pokemon you need to get unlimited Pal Spheres. Vixie has a partner skill that allows her to dig up items from the ground. Most of those items consist of gold coins, Pal Spheres, as well as arrows. We can find out where to catch Vixie if we look at the habitat in the Pal deck, and you'll see that there's locations all down the middle of the map where you can find a whole bunch of Vixies. To get to that location, we're going to go to our fast travel site and go to this small settlement icon. If you haven't went there yet, try to find your way there. It's one of the best ways I can only think of to get there. Once you get in front of the settlement, you're going to head right up the hill. As you get up the hill, you're going to come across a bridge. This bridge will let you see everything. You'll see like the general area where the Vixies are going to be at, as well as the area that you came from, which is a small settlement down in the bottom right. Also beware, because you're going to come across a couple pals that can explode. Those are like, I think they're called Toko Toko or whatever. As you look at this map, you'll see that I went all the way up and around and then across the bridge over through here. When you get to the end of the bridge, you're going to come across syndicate thugs that have a Pokemon capture. Just get rid of them, or you can skip past them and then head down to the edge of this cliff. You want to have a glider on you, that way you can just jump down with ease. Otherwise you're going to be spending a lot of time trying to go down the side and find which one's not going to give you fall damage. And so try to make a glider if you can. If you can't, it's not the end of the world. Just make your way down the hill. Once you get down there, you should see a couple of Vixies. If you don't, then you need to come at a different time of day. And if you do see them, try to stay away from the boss fight if you can't afford to die, because dying in this game is a pain. The next tip is going to be on your two catching methods, which is going to be the front catch and the back catch. The front catch means that the pal is going to be aware of you throwing the pal ball at them, or pal sphere, or pokeball. You know it's the same thing. While a back catch is going to give you a bonus for throwing at a pal or Pokemon that doesn't know that you're coming from behind them with the pal ball. The next tip that we're going to get into is incubators. Incubators are going to be little objects that you can put eggs that you find around the map in. And to craft an incubator, you're going to head down the technology tree, and down the ancient technology tab you'll find the incubator. The only way you can craft an incubator is if you unlock it using ancient technology points, which you should have gathered from boss fights. Once you've crafted an incubator, you're going to set an egg in there. I'm setting a rocky egg since I need a rocky egg for the boss fight. There are multiple different eggs that you can put inside of these incubators. Another problem you can have with the incubators is they can get a little cold, but it's an easy fix. One of the fixes that you can use is putting a campfire right by the incubator, and then it'll change from it being cold to seems very comfortable. But you can also use skill points to unlock the heater, which if you've progressed far enough, you can use that instead. Alright, the next thing that we're going to get into is going to be move fruits. The move fruit that I have now is a dragon skill fruit. Although I don't have a dragon type in my party, I can use the dragon fruit on any of these Pokemon. And so I decided to use it on the Pokemon that made most sense for me, which was the Jolthog. But once you select which pal you're going to use that fruit on, go to your party and click on that pal and change its active skill to the fruit attack that you chose. This next tip is going to be for people that have progressed a little further into the game. We're going to talk about the Pal Essence Condenser, which can be used to increase a pal's rank, which increases its attack, defense, and health as well. So once we're in the condenser menu, we're going to choose which pal we want rank to increase, and then you're going to select 4 other pals that you would like to recycle to increase its rank. So now we've gone over a little bit of everything, but we need to take a couple steps back to learn the basics, which is base building. Base building is one of the easiest things to do in the game, as well as the easiest thing to mess up in the game. A lot of people might want to just build up a base like they're playing Rust, but the main thing that you want to keep in consideration is this isn't your base, it's your Pokemon's base. They just hold everything for you and do all the work for you, and then they complain and say they're hungry afterwards. Make sure that you have chests laying around the base, that way when pals have finished some work, they have somewhere to place the items that they've crafted for you. Lastly, make sure you're paying attention to work suitability. Each pal has a different thing that they can do. Like this pal that has a work suitability that allows it to melt ores and to cook food. There are other pals that are capable of doing other things like watering plants or harvesting plants. Some of them can even chop wood or mine stone for you. But the most efficient thing is to have separate pals that can do separate things. Unless you want all these Pokeballs, then you want to have 3 pals that can do one thing. Now the last tip of the video is to make sure that you give your pal some love. And also show this channel some love for watching the video and making it through this far. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know how to get back into a lobby that you can't find anymore in the multiplayer menu, then click this video where I show you how to get back into disappeared servers. Love,